Yes, I'm back. So the stats now show that it is streaming very well. And I think the latency is gone and the bitrate is well, so that's nice. We're back to full HD, streaming 60 frames per second and go. Thanks for letting me know, and that's nice to see it's working again. So I should actually have reset my internet connection here earlier, like the router. I thought it was like a Wi-Fi thing. Ah, well, good. That's better. So what I was doing before I got interrupted by this announcement that it was actually all not working, I was talking about the Hatchling editor here. I made a specific editor for physical hatchling, but it didn't save that. So now I changed that to hatchling type selector. If I save this, I should get the hatchling type selector editor here. Oof, what? Where? Oh. Yeah. If this is true, then I should actually just comment this whole file so it doesn't get used anymore. And now I should get this. Yes, nice. So hatchling type, and if I change it, oh, this is actually the llama. Oops, llama. I was editing this, yes, and go to this one and change that to kangaroo. Llama, kangaroo. All right, so that's good. Now I'm actually not even sure that. Yeah, physical hatchling says type. Okay. And in my editor resource hatchling data here, I've got the prefab set as well. So it's kind of a circular reference, but it doesn't matter that much because that doesn't refer back to itself. And here in the pedestal, the hatchling type reference is also still good. So basically, when I would look at my prefab file now, it would show me just the name. Yes, it shows just the name, but it is actually saved now. So that's good. Oh, it was actually the scene? No, this one was not. So when I remove it, it's gone. If I add it back, it will show Anaconda, but nothing, so nothing selected. And when I do kangaroo, kangaroo, yes, good, it's saved. Nice. So the yes, the editor, or the property drawer actually, the hatchling type selector works fine. And then it should also, oh, actually that's not good. Let me see, because hatchling type selector selected type. Here, let me open this. Selected type is not filled with all the data, although prefab seems to be filled. Class 0, skill 0, rarity 0 might just be true. No, hold on. No, that's not true. No. So that I'm just going to compare those prefab. Come on. Files. Okay, so they are definitely different, which means they would. Yeah, this actually refers back to itself. So that's correct. That's just like I said. But now I have to put in those properties that it's not showing here in the actual drawer, I think. Might be best. Selected drawer, selected type. In selected type, and then type selector here. Hatchling type selected type. Name value. And then that gets set. And I also set the prefab value, but I don't really set anything else. Okay, so this is why the rest of the values are not filled in. And I think for any kind of purpose, I would really need to make sure that I fill them because it's neater. Otherwise, I'd have to find those Hatchling resource references again, which also makes sense. So do I actually need to save anything other than the selected type number, or actually name even? So where would I use it? So for instance, I've got my physical hatchling here, and I'm gonna activate its skill. So selected type there would have been set already. The thing though is that, bear with me. So if you know Unity, then this thing is saved over here. But if I change that data here, it doesn't immediately reflect on the data in the prefab. So I'm thinking I should not be saving the data here, but I should only be saving the type here. So that means not even the prefab actually should be saved, because if I change something in the hatchling data object, that should be the defining one. So basically, selected type should, maybe this type selector should also have a reference to an object that, or to a function that sets the proper data. No, hold on, even better. The hatchling data should be, known to the game, so that it can find the hatchling data runtime at runtime. So that it can get the proper hatchling type data from that. Which leads me to think that, in fact, the hatchling type selector should only store a string, which in turn makes me roll my eyes about like last what was it, Thursday, because then I was doing all this type property editing stuff and it was not working. But I'm not even gonna do that. So basically this is going to be name property, and it's going to be just the name. Selected type name. Selected type name. And that's just going to be a string. Jeez. All right, and then that's pretty insane. If I'm doing it like this, it should still work. I should make sure that there we go, hatchling type selector, physical hatchling, yes, and selected type. yeah, that should actually be a function that gets the hatchling type from the data. So what's the best way to do that? I guess the same way that I'm doing it here. Resources load. So that way is, I guess I should use it only once. So I will make a static hatchling data. Yes, hatchling data. And I can't do this. Can I? No, I can only do this from the main. Yeah, okay, I will do it like that. So I will have a hatchling type, and that is selected type with a getter. Can I have a getter for a? I hope I can have a getter for a struct. I can, I think. Yes, good. So basically this will be getting the hatchling data from data based on the name that is selected here. So I would have an init. I'll put that below. And that would say, okay, so here I say if data is nothing yet, then init, and init would load data and would fill that into a I just do a dictionary from string to hatchling type. Am I only storing? No, I'm not only storing hatchling data. Let's go into hatchling data. Oh, I already have that. Okay, so I can just ignore that. This I can do, and then I will return data of the selected type name, and that is correct. Basically also I'm not changing the hatchling type in runtime, so I should only need to set it once. Hatchling type I'll actually have a private variable set here that is just initialized once, and then it's done here if selected name is still empty. And then I will say that selected will become that, and then it will return selected. So this way it will, if it hasn't been loaded at all, it would initialize it. That's just for the first hatchling type that's loaded. And then if this one hasn't been set properly from the data, it will be set, and then it will return this every time, and this part will just be skipped. That's better. Good. Now I think I can safely say that selected type dot skill will actually return the proper skill based on the data that's saved here in resources. So for instance, for kangaroo it's stomp flower pollen, and for llama it's, where's llama? There, it's sticky flippers. So if here I've said, oh, hold on. Oh yeah, that's still a string. This would be a llama, and this would be a kangaroo, and that's just a string that's saved now, if I'm correct, if I did it right. And then here in hatchlings, I've got kangaroo, and I've got llama. Oh, llama, kangaroo, and llama, and that also then is. Let me just check now how that changed this file. It should have been changed. Yes, select the type name kangaroo. That's the only thing that's stored here. And the rest of the stuff is stored in the hatchling data file. So now if I start and I've only just selected the type, it should be able to get from the type, yes, the model. So that's nice. It gets the actual prefab. And then also it should be able to, whoa, that performance is real bad. If I just hit it, I probably can't hit it like that. So I'll actually select the ball here. Is that the ball? No, that's the ball. And oops. Jeez. I will put it here to hit stomp flower pollen. That's good. Stomp flower pollen is actually the kangaroo's active skill, so that's nice. And here, sticky flippers. So it works. The reference is got from the data saved on disk, so it's one reference, no data duplication, which would be a big problem. Like if I would change the data of the hatchlings in here, which is like the reference, and I wouldn't have changed the prefab, then it would be wrong. So now it actually is not wrong, so it will always get this. And if I changed, for instance, change this to something else, then and it would be slowed down, and I would get this ball and oops, get it in there, slow down. Yeah, good. So from this data it gets the actual skill. Cool. So that means that everything I put in here, and we didn't do anything with rarities yet, but everything I put in there is now used in game whenever I've got a reference to a hatchling type. So okay, that means I can go on with the rest of the hatchlings. So basically thinking about this one. No, that's physical hatchling, let's think. Yeah, that's actually prefab. For each of those types I want to set I want to set their traits and stuff as a designer. I think I should just be able to do that in here. That's fine. I might want to be able to sort this file. Should I even want to try that? It's a scriptable object, but yeah, I'll look into that at some point, but not right now. So basically just editing in here in the order that I put them in, and then adding the moods and traits. So what I did for hatchling, that's the runtime thing, is I added a lot of stuff that gives them levels of things, but that's just energy. And now I have to go into like energy actually being a being added by types of food, and then the type of food and the level of the hatchling determine how much energy you will actually get from that specific amount of that type of food. And also there needs to be a system in which you can keep giving it food even if you're not online. But we're still looking into what's the best way to what the best way is to do that properly. But that, I think that will be something for later. Actually, now I see that I've got a little bit of a problem here in my color scheme from Visual Studio. Like this, the struct color is now actually kind of the same, almost the same as the so I'm just gonna change that quickly. The function color. Where am I? Fonts and colors. I've been improving my own where is that? Struct, no. That's a struct. User types, class types, structures. Here, there we go. So a struct should have a color that's comparable to a class, actually. Blue, and then this should be more in the direction of blue. Is this a color already that we have? Probably not. That seems better. Now I can actually tell the difference. All right, good. Where were we? Hatchling has a hatchling type, which is initialized, which should be initialized on runtime, but I actually should save this hatchling serialized in the player data, the player's data. So that is actually stored in storage. I think this is one of those references here. Storage has a list of player hatchlings there. So basically, once one of them is in there, it's stored together with its last energy level and attachment level, and all its moods, and then also a list of traits. And now I'm actually thinking, yeah, this is not working. It's pretty nice to have it have traits, like maximum of what? It doesn't really matter how many. But still, it's not editable in the editor, in the Unity editor. I guess I'll stick with it for now, because I want to make food types, and I guess that's not in anywhere yet, so that will be in here as well. Is it just food type, or is it food? It's going to be the food that they eat, which has a type, but it's also just an amount. So I'm guessing I'm actually storing food types, and I would expect it to open that now, but food type is not an object or anything on an object. It's actually a struct, maybe even, because then I can have different food types stored in the hatchling data. Let's see about that. How am I doing that with? That's an enum, and this is a struct indeed. Maybe I should actually store food type in hatchling data, but I actually No, I'll keep it here. So I'll make it into a struct right now. And then it needs to be serializable. And then I want to have some properties here. Do I actually need to serialize? No, that's fine. Okay, so it has a name, of course. And then there must be some kind of properties like food type, and then its classes or food flags. I guess it would have a collection of food flags. And then I'd say, okay, what do we need for food flag? And that one, maybe that one should not be an enum, or should it? Because what we did here, yes, also in code. The danger with enums is that if you want to remove one, you have to not change the order. You have to never change the order after you've got some save data with anything, because it can be saved as an int and then just lose its meaning totally. But I think as I'm also doing it with other types, sorry for this, food flag could be fine. Yeah. All right, so food flag, for instance, would say like has vegetables, or is. I mean, I'm not sure how complex we're gonna make the food. Like it's gonna be like complex meals or something. But let's just not do is. Let's just say vegetable. Vegetable, fruit. What else do we have? Like what's the carbohydrate? Carbohydrates. Proteins. What do you call it? Water content or something. There's more like vitamins. No, I don't think we need that. It's just a type of food that they like. So one of them likes fruits a lot, one of them likes carbs, one of them likes proteins. Depends on the type of animal. So that actually will be dependent on the type of hatchling. For instance, like you'd have like a wolf, and you'd give a wolf a vegetable, it wouldn't really help. And you give him proteins and it would help a lot more. So that's actually what we're looking into here, is like giving the proper types of food to the proper type of for the type of hatchling. So vitamins is really not a thing there. Then I guess it should be something with predispositions to certain tastes. So like sweet, sour, salty, bitter, whatever. What's all the tastes? I don't know. Let's just start with this. We can edit this later. This is just preliminary. I'll put that in here as well. Design. And then now I can actually put that into hatchling data for all the food types. So hatchling types, class icons, and food types. and I will be able to get a food type based on the name. Get class icon, yes. So public food type, get food type, and then based on the name. Do I actually need to do this? No, not really, but I could. Hey, hello, and thank you for becoming a patron. That's really nice. I would like to, like everybody else, should also become a patron, of course. Yeah, that's silly, but yeah, it's nice that you're always around here, and very, very nice to have a patron finally. So I'm pretty sure I shouldn't show you what happened to the code that I made last week. I will show you in a moment. Just now I'm gonna do this same thing, like array.find. I'm gonna find in the food types array the food type. Actually, the same thing that I'm doing below there. Return food type dot name is gonna be name. There. Okay, so just a little break for Aaron, who's like Jurlehead, who was actually helping me last time with trying to figure out the selector drawer. So in the end, it turned out that I shouldn't actually save the entire struct in, and actually makes sense. I hope it makes sense to you too. I shouldn't save the entire struct in there with the type selector, or in here with the type selector, because then if I would change the data for the struct in the actual resources here, then I would have data duplication, because it would not automatically change as a reference in those ones. So I'm actually now only saving the name, because then runtime or in the editor it would just get the proper last data from this file. So basically a bit a shame that we didn't think of that last time. Yeah, right? And so the whole issue with that struct not loading here, it's now just a name property. Yeah, well. Okay, so continuing on the food types. So food types have flags. I will actually get back to the hatchling data here and fill some of it. Just, oh, what has happened here? Did I not save this class? Food types. Is that not automatically changing? Ouch. I would have hoped that that would change along. I'm gonna read about this before I mess it up. Scriptable object change class after saving data. I would think that it would just add this. Let me add a new one. Where did I put my create asset menu hatchling data? Create. Where is it? Scriptable objects, hatchling data. Oh, so I did something wrong then. It just isn't showing at all. Is food type not? Food type is serializable. Maybe because food type isn't in the same. Yeah, it's not in the same editor thing. Could that be it? Well, let me just see if that helps. I'll put all this into the hatchling data file and see if it now turns up. It does not. That confuses me quite a lot, because I added this and that should simply give me that thing. That's pretty weird. So did I somehow save this to the wrong file? Did it like gonna close Visual Studio here? Edit that again. Yes, that was a file saving thing again. That's so weird though. I'll do this. Okay, so a lot of Googling and stuff for nothing. And actually add this back to, oops, yes. That file, saved everything. There we go. Yes, finally, geez. That's still there, no problems. And now I can actually just add a few food types. I don't know, let's add one of each type, like main. I don't know, I'm just gonna wing it here. Vegetable, fruit, carb, and protein. Let's say one vegetable is going to be like a carrot, and then we've got a apple, and we've got bread, and then we have meat just in general. Let's just call it that. So protein, and it's salty. Bread is, I don't know, sour. No, the bitter, the apple will be sour, and the carrot will be sweet. Just to have all of them values in there somewhere. I don't know, it's just some sample data. We need to design this properly. But now I can go to the hatchling and actually make it prefer specific traits, specific food, food flags. And this is where it gets a bit nasty, because if I change the order of these in the file, so let me just check this. I think that will just change the values, because they just save as ints. Food types, carrot, vegetable, apple, fruit. Now bread is a protein and meat is a carb. So that's actually the problem with using those enums. If we want to change them later on, then it will become a problem. But if I do so if I do change them, then later I need to never delete any. So actually also makes sense with a game that's live, that if you would want to change some of that stuff, that you would actually need to make sure that it has some way of converting. So in that case, an enum actually isn't that bad, because you always have like backward compatibility. So maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not. Yeah. Okay, so what problem did you have? You changed an enum and then everything moved? That's what you mean? Because I think that you should just actually do it. I think it might be best if you have, yeah. So if you have persistent data, which I do here because all this is stored in the, so for this stuff is actually stored in the scriptable object, but for the player hatchling, for instance, all the hatchlings are stored in the storage class on disk. Then you must actually make sure that by using enums, you're actually forcing yourself to be backward compatible, because if you use an enum, you should know that you never change the value. Another trick would be to just do this and actually make it very much explicit, so that if you move them, then you never have an issue. In C#, you can do this. I'm not sure about other languages actually. So, oof, yeah. But yeah, so to prevent ever being hacky, you could do this, and then just never. If you'd remove one, there's no issue. And even if you scramble the order there's no issue. So that's actually, it might be a very, very wise way of doing this, to make sure that it's never, and you can even be, in that case, you can even be 1 based instead of 0 based. Doesn't matter. But if I do this now, then I can never get into that trouble. It just does take away a little bit of the ease of making the enum, but the using the enum is still the same. So your code will still be way more readable than it would be when just using numbers or some kind of other system. So it actually, in fact, what I'm doing now makes absolutely zero difference, as long as this is in the same order that it would be. But as soon as I make that kind of mistake, I'd get an actual, I wouldn't have a problem, but then it would change the compiled values, because the compiler actually just, of course, changes all those enums into the actual values. Yeah, so basically it's now just a sort of a label that it's, of course, it's also typed, so that's nice. So but it's all compile time. Oh, it's all compile time? No, it still has a type, of course, runtime, but it's still an enum, so I'm not really sure how much you could do with that. Anyway, let's not get into compiling too much. Let's see, we have the food types. Yes, that's where we were. And the actual food types I want to be able to edit here, because they're like a bit complex. So I can edit them here, or I could edit them on this, because this is actually one thing you can do with these asset files is also just, I mean, I could, whoa, nice. Because it's called flags. Ouch, that's interesting. Huh. That's pretty weird. Because I've called it flags, it stores it as that. Huh. That's 0, 0, 1, 0, 3, 0, 2. Interesting. Whoa. Wow. So if I change that's I haven't actually ever seen this, because I've called it flags. It serializes it in a different way. Wow, just weird. Let's see if I oh, hold on, let's hear. If I name it differently. and then set some values again. I'll just do it with caret because I mean, well, it's just one. And I go back to the data. Oh no, it still stores it like this. Okay, so that's not because it was called food flags, or because it has a name flags in there. It's an array because it has a fixed string or something. That's so weird. I'm just gonna do this to see what the hell. Okay. Food FLGs and add to sweet. Where was I? Here. Stored properly. Still does that. No, it's not stored. Oh. Whoop. Food flags still stored like that. So I guess an array of ints is always stored like this, which makes it a little bit harder to edit. Okay, so let's just skip that part. It's editable over here. I'll change those names back because it's just food flags, and I wanted to do flags and food flag there. Learned a bit more about serialization. I don't know, yeah, I guess. It's strange, but I guess those people at Unity, they're good at serialization, so they must have had a very good reason to do it like this. So let's do something again. Fruit, sweet, sour, bread, carbs, and I don't know, bitter, and meat, proteins, salty. Right. So we got our food types back. Actually thinking that I'm pretty tired, so maybe I'll just stop there now, because what's next is that I'm gonna make the hatchlings have food preferences, but also hatchling types would already have specific food preferences. So I actually have to come up with a system that does that, and then I'm gonna have to have the player have specific types of food, amounts of types of food, and I'm not sure where the is that's in storage. Oh, I don't have storage open here. Storage, come on. So hatchlings unlocked, player coins, player diamonds, player hatchlings. Yeah, so there's no bit of food storage there yet, so I have to get into that as well, and then I like do the UI side of all that. So I guess this is a multi-episode thing, the food economy. Let's just start with the fact that I'm gonna try to figure that one out already. Where's hatchling type? That's here. Yeah. So I've got food type and hatchling. Oh no, it's not hatchling type. Where's hatchling type? Where did I? Oh, I defined it in hatchling data. Okay. So for each hatchling type should have some food flags preferences, or dislikes. So maybe actually hatchling types will have predispositions for food types, food flags actually, food flag preferred foods, or liked or disliked. or good or bad foods. No, good and bad is not good. What I'm actually searching for here, I'm trying to think what's the best term to use for the fact that that food will be very nutritious. Let's just say nutritious. Nutritious. Geez. Nutritious foods. And not so nutritious foods. Nutrition. Let's do it like this. Nutrition bonus. Nutrition malice. Minus. Oh god. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Good nutrition, bad nutrition. So basically, or is it just, should we just say likes? No. It's a per hatchling type what I'm doing now. So this is actually the hatchling type. So a kangaroo would, for a kangaroo, it would be good to eat just good food, bad food, or why not? It's just in code, so why take so long to fix this? Okay, good food, bad food. Here we go. So for a kangaroo, extra good, like bonus plus food. Yeah. For instance, a kangaroo, I don't know what what kangaroos eat. Fruits? I guess. Well, let's just say for now that a kangaroo likes fruit and a kangaroo really doesn't like bread or meat. I have no idea, but it could be right. And say that a wolf, for instance, would just like this. That's the way we can use this system. Everybody in the team can use this system to tweak. So say a wolf would actually like proteins and would really not be interested in vegetables, fruits, or carbs in the first place. And for instance, for the kangaroo here, vegetables is like medium. It's not extra good, it's not extra bad, but as when I put these flags in here, then I can say, okay, so for the wolf, it's definitely not good to have the vegetable, the fruit, or the carbs. So it will not be fed a lot by that. Also, it could be like the other things might also work. So for instance, I could say that a kangaroo likes, especially like sweet. So then if it's fruit and sweet, it will get a double bonus, something like that. That is the system we have to fill in, but that's nice now that it can be done. And actually we can transfer this onto normally I'd say we could just transfer this into like a Google Sheet or something, but seeing as this edits in a weird way, I'm gonna look at this now, but I think it's definitely gonna store that. Oh, hold on. Save. Yeah, good food, and then it's really not easy to see that, so I can't really transfer that from a sheet easily. So I guess editing it in Unity is the best way. But we can like do this design process separately for outside of Unity. Anyway, so now, okay, so thank you for looking that up. Mostly grasses. Okay, so kangaroo doesn't like fruit then. It would actually like some vegetables. Grass, maybe it should be a separate thing, grass. But yeah, I'd actually take that one off. And for instance, say it really doesn't like anything bitter, something like that. Mushrooms, huh? Okay. So, well, actually grass can have a bitter taste, so maybe it doesn't like salty stuff. I don't know. We'll get to that once we get to that. Basically saying that it's time to stop because I already said that like 10 minutes ago. And that's good because then I can start updating my Visual Studio, and also I can commit my stuff and then just wind down. Doesn't see my changes again. Here we go. All right, so basically finished the hatchling type selector. Hatchling type selector. Well, doesn't need to be capital. And also starts now. Well, let's add food types system. Adds. Okay, starts food type system, and I will commit that, and I will push this stuff. And with that, I will stop for today. Thank you all for watching. Thanks again for becoming a patron, Erin. And then I will talk to you soon, by the way. Also, for anyone who is here and was wondering, like, what are they talking about, Patreon? Well, we've got a Patreon page set up because we're a small indie studio and we can always use a little bit of extra money coming in, because we would really love to make these kinds of games that I'm doing here, and be able to keep streaming that and to keep making those games and not having to search for a different job. Though I'm also teaching, might be even nicer to do this full time, but that's like a stretch goal. That might only work when we really like finish a game and get it out there. But in order to do that, we need to, of course, keep everything rolling. So getting some money in from those kind of supporters is really a very nice thing. Other than that, searching for looking for those extra followers on Twitch. So please, if you could follow, just do it because you like indie game developers or whatever in general. But especially, of course, if you like this stream, please consider following. If you're watching on YouTube, you could subscribe, and we'll also make nice tutorial videos, working on a few of those. It's going to take a little time, but we'll get there as well. More about Git, more about Unity, some tips and tricks, and also actually that was it. Like, subscribe, follow, of course, like if you're on YouTube, and if you want to be notified every time that we stream, you can follow us on Twitter, because that's where we post our updates. Also, if there's some time that we're not streaming, usually it's every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 8 European time. So that's the same time slot as right now. Started half an hour and a half ago. What else is left? Well, some music. I'm not gonna say it again. For those who have been here before, you've heard this tune before. It's from Berserkle, a game that I made in 2012 with some other people, and made this music for. I am actually going to soon be working on the extra music for Hatchball, so I'll have that maybe available for you to comment on even. For now, this is the Berserkle soundtrack. It's adaptive, so you hear 3 different intensities. It ramps up. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see everybody when I see them, but hopefully next Thursday, same time, same place. Bye bye.